Hey guys, I'm Tanya Curran, the Scaly Mom here at Scaly Adventures, and we're here with our friend. This is Mercedes Curry, also known as Mac, and we are here with your beautiful friend. Tell us who
Thank
this
you.
is.
This is Lady Phelan. She is a red-tailed hawk. She came into us with a number of problems. Unfortunately, they were all human-caused. A lot of people think it's fun to rehabilitate wildlife, and they don't always know that there are permits involved. And in her case, they did pretty much everything wrong. They may have done it for all the right reasons, but they ended up causing her many additional problems that caused her almost to die.
Wow.
But we were able to fix almost everything except the one thing that keeps her from being allowed to be free.
Okay.
She can't hunt for herself. Her feet don't work properly because of malnutrition. So
Wow.
she's with us. Could you stand up just a little?
Oh,
There
look
you
how
go.
beautiful.
Thank you, my love. That's much better. You were kind of like
Right at the end of your fingers there.
Well, she was kind of falling off the back.
Right? So we're here on location filming for a season 6 Scaly Adventures TV episode here at Paws Animal Wildlife Sanctuary. So you're going to see them and their amazing animals. And we always like to film a why do you do what you do with our guests. So Mac, have you always been interested in animals, and why do you do this for a living?
Well, yes, always. I was the little girl that started with pet worms in the backyard, much to my mother's dismay. I was the child always finding injured or orphaned who knows what and bringing it home.
Right.
My parents did the right thing, and they turned the animals over to someone who knew what they were doing, as opposed to, say, a 5-year-old who meant
Right.
well and had no skills.
Right.
But as I got older and they just kept coming and coming, I was always the one finding them. I finally decided maybe instead of just finding them, I should be doing more. And so I got in touch with a vet who did a lot of wildlife work. I started working under the mentorship of a very experienced rehabber, and one by one earned one permit after the other.
Awesome.
And we now hold more state and federal permits in the area of wildlife than any other person or facility in the state of South Carolina.
That's awesome. So if someone else was watching this, a young person who's interested in what you're doing as a career, what would you suggest? First, like getting a mentorship under a vet, would that be a good opportunity, or what would you suggest?
I would actually suggest finding a wildlife facility and offering to clean cages. You can win the heart of almost any rehabber in the world by offering to help them.
Right.
And honestly, if you can't clean cages, you probably aren't going to really want to do rehab.
Right.
So sometimes people come out for a day, they see all the work that goes into the behind the scenes, and suddenly decide that's not for them. So
Right.
that honestly, volunteering for your local rehabber is a great way to find out whether this is for you, and it also helps you learn quite a few of the hidden features. You see
Right.
the pictures and everything looks cute and fuzzy, but
Right.
it's not all cute and fuzzy behind
Exactly,
the scenes.
behind the scenes. And one other thing before we close out, I know because we're going to talk about this in the TV episode, you know, a lot of times people think they're really helping an animal, and it's one thing if you see an injured animal that's crying out in pain for sure, that needs help. But sometimes they come to you because people will scoop them up in the wild, they'll see a baby fawn sitting there, right? So what would your advice be to people if they see an animal in the wild and how to handle that?
Wildlife don't raise their babies the way we do, and we'd never think of sticking our child under a bush and leaving them for,
Right.
6 to 12 hours.
Right.
And in some cases that is normal. And I would say if you've got something that's not obviously injured, if it's got a broken leg, it's bleeding, you saw it being hit by a car,
Right.
that's different. But if you just find something out in the wild and you look around, you don't see a mom, call a wildlife rehabilitator first. I can't tell you how many we reunite with the parents, and some of the animals, maybe the nest is in the top of a tree,
Right.
and people think you can't reunite. There are ways to reunite without climbing the tree. A big misconception is once the kids have touched it, the mom won't take it back.
Okay.
That is not true. So bottom line, if you've got any question at all, or even if you don't and you really do have something, call a licensed rehabilitator. The DNR, the Fish and Wildlife, the Fish and Game, there are different names in different
Okay.
states, but all of them have a list of how to get a hold of licensed rehabilitators. So call them, talk to someone who knows, and find out for sure. And don't wait a week or two before you call. Got to do it right away. Otherwise, after a week or two, this animal can't be returned.
Because it's been imprinted.
And now it's been kidnapped for no reason.
Right.
And it may be, again, maybe well-meaning, but nonetheless, Mama lost her baby for no reason.
Right.
So call a rehabilitator.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome advice. So, guys, make sure you stay tuned to Scaly Adventures Season 6 to see them in action. Matt, can you tell us your website so people can check you out as well?
Yep, it's www.paws, which is PAWS -SC, as in South Carolina.com.
That's right. All right, well, stay tuned to Scaly Adventures Season 6. We'll see you soon. Thank you so much, Mac.
Thank
and
you.
Thank you, Lady Phelan. Thank you.